Hi everyone, this is Aruna from Mindspace. Welcome to the third episode of the Learning Happiness series. I hope all of you are doing well and staying safe. This episode is titled Karma, Why It Matters. This is a significant topic to understand on our journey of learning happiness, and the topic itself is extremely vast and deep, and it really cannot be fitted into a single episode. But I thought it was important to give a small introduction. Another reason was that there are many misconceptions surrounding it. Most of us are not really aware of a very basic principle that underlines our lives, which is the principle or law of cause and effect. We see this playing out in the material physical world, but we really do not know how much of an impact it can have on our happiness and suffering. Scientific inquiry has not yet begun into this law, but ancient scriptural teachings have this law as the foundation of any form or kind of existence. Many important teachings in the scriptures are contemplative teachings, meaning that the knowledge and the subsequent wisdom comes not from second-hand sources but from first-hand experience through contemplation and deep evaluation. The topic of this episode is one such. Human life is very rare. We think that human beings occupy a majority of the planet. But if we really look at the number of animal forms like insects or creatures underwater and in the earth, we will find that we are a very small proportion of living creatures. Human life is not only rare, but it is also a very precious existence. And the reason is that we have capacities and capabilities that other living forms do not have. The question many of us may have is, how do we make this human life that is so rare and precious really count? What kind of actions should we indulge in that will create happiness rather than suffering? Happiness for others as well as our own self. The principle or law of cause and effect or karma is something we experience in daily life, but its deeper significance on human happiness or happiness in general is not often probed. We all know that when we perform an action, there is a consequence. When we eat well and exercise, we can have a healthier body. When we neglect our mind and body, we see the consequence. When we use harsh words, we become unhappy. Needless to say, so does the recipient of that anger. By logic, all our actions, whether of body, that is physical actions, speech, what we talk and how we talk, and the mind, which is our thoughts and emotions, are all causes that create an effect, either negative or positive. When we talk of learning happiness, one must look at the causes that can result in happiness or the causes that can result in suffering. We speak of negative emotions and the need to subdue or pacify them, to even eradicate them or uproot them from our mind, only because creation of these emotions leads to negative consequences. A negative emotion or thought or spoken word or physical action can never have positive consequences. A common misconception is that karma is fate or destiny. But in actuality, the word means action, which basically means taking responsibility for our own actions. It is not that we are fated to be unhappy or suffer, or that there is a creator who decides this. We decide our own fate through our own actions. But this fate is not irreversible. By changing our actions or by creating positive karma, we can begin the process of reducing our negative karma. So we actually have the power and the responsibility. The Buddha said that if you want to see where the mind is going or what the mind will experience in future, look to your actions now. Because there's a connection between the karmic patterns we establish now and our future experiences. Once an action is done, that tendency or seed remains latent at an unconscious level until the proper circumstances or conditions arise to make it a conscious experience. This is called the karmic process. What it means is that one can never expect that once an action has been committed, either a physical action or of speech or creation of a thought or emotion, to somehow have that action get lost somewhere or be forgotten. There is no way that one can avoid the consequences of it at some point or the other in this lifetime or subsequent lifetimes. Having said that, the law of cause and effect isn't a mathematical certainty because there are a lot of variables that manifest a cause leading to a certain effect. So let me give you a couple of examples. A flower does not appear by itself but is dependent upon the previous conditions of a seed, soil, air, water, and so on. Many things have to come together for the flower to bloom into existence. So whatever exists is dependent upon previous or immediate causes and conditions. This is also true of one's body and one's mind, which are the effect of previous causes and conditions in this lifetime or in previous lifetimes. Another example, a student studies very hard for an exam but may not get corresponding results due to conditions that are not conducive. So we see in our own life how the cause does not produce immediate results because the conditions do not support it. However, this shouldn't dishearten us because what is extremely important is that we continue to sow the right seeds or create the right causes by being mindful of all our actions, and also remember that the seeds that we have sown will sprout under the right conditions. So you will get the results of the hard work that you have put in. Karma is also closely related to the understanding of Pap and Punya, which is mentioned in the Vedas. A simple definition of Pap and Punya is bad and good deeds, or the understanding of sin and virtue. I would imagine the way karma works is like a bank account. The good deeds increase the balance in your bank account, and the bad or unskillful deeds decrease the balance in the account. I came across an interesting tidbit of information which I would like to share with you because it is closely connected to this topic. The word for human in Sanskrit is called Purush, which translates to somebody with power. The understanding of cause and effect is only possible for humans as a human existence. An animal cannot think about the effects their actions have. The fact that we can use our intellect and our minds in finite capacity puts us in a unique position insofar as we hold the power to change our negative karma into positive karma by following a virtuous path. The virtuous path starts with the learning of Shila or ethical conduct, Karuna or compassion, and Ahimsa or non-violence. Also Maitri, which is actually a feeling of friendliness and goodwill towards all. And we will explore this in the coming episodes. I really hope you enjoyed listening to this episode. Do let me know in the comment section below. If you like the content of this channel, please subscribe, share, and like. I shall see you soon with a new episode. Till then, take care. Thank you.